Hi all, welcome back to another Tech Connect video. Today we're looking at a brand new product from OrCam, the new OrCam Read 3.0. A lot of really cool features we're going to dive into today. But first, a lot of the features from the My Eye Pro are now come standard with the Read 3.0. And Luke, you are going to tell us about them.
I am indeed, yeah. Quite excited here. OrCam Read 3.0. It's the third iteration and it's the best one yet, Corey.
I agree 100%.
If you guys like the OrCam devices, put it down in the comments there. They're pretty popular. People seem to like a bit of OrCam in their lives, and this one is a really nice one. So, what new features do we have here? Now, if you're not familiar with the OrCam Read, we did an excellent video on it, didn't we, Corey?
We did, and that went over a lot of the basic features of it. There should be a link or a card floating above.
Where is it, Corey?
One of our
Show us where it is.
What I'm hoping is it's right in front of your face right now.
You wish. So yeah, it should be up here somewhere, something like that. We're going to talk about the new features of the 3.0. The physical device itself, if I can just pull it out the stand here, is pretty similar. Well, actually it's identical, except the buttons are now yellow.
Yeah.
So this is our first major improvement.
And what color is the body of the Read?
The body is black.
Okay,
the
so
buttons
now
are yellow.
Obviously with the yellow, it's really good contrast.
It's very good contrast. Good. We have it in the OrCam Read stand. For those OrCam fans, you will have already seen our excellent OrCam Read stand video. But if you haven't seen that, then that should also be floating around somewhere up here, and you can check out all about the stand. You can see Corey put it together, and
exactly.
Yeah, how that went. So, but yes, new features. So what have we got here? Well, first of all, built in as standard, we have both money identification and product identification. Corey, show me the money.
All right, here we go. I did bring this today. My wife gave it to me this morning. It is a $5,000 bill, so please be careful and give that back.
Yeah. Well, Corey, I'll tell you what. Let's find out what the OrCam thinks it is. Okay. All right. I'm not going to say either way. So here we go.
Who's on the $5,000 bill? What president?
It's Neil Armstrong on the moon.
Neil Armstrong.
On the moon, yeah. So here we are. We've put the bill underneath the OrCam. Haven't tried this before, so we're going to find out live whether it works. I'm going to press the picture button on the OrCam, and we'll see if it tells us the denomination. $1. Corey, I'm very sorry.
I have to talk to my wife when we get home.
Let me give you your $5,000
my Neil Armstrong. Who's on the $1 bill? Louis Armstrong?
All right, so that was one new feature. Very nice indeed. Now, another new feature is product identification. This is based on the barcode. Corey, do you have a product?
I do. My wife gave, no, I'm just kidding. There you go.
Okay, so we have a nice product here, and let's see if the OrCam can recognize it. Now, bear in mind, the OrCam will not know every single product, so it might be that this product is not recognized. We haven't tested it yet, but we are about to find out. So, same process, put the product underneath the camera. We will go ahead and press the picture button.
Pillsbury Creamy Supreme Vanilla Flavored Frosting.
Hey!
So I have a question for you now.
Yeah.
From a blindness perspective.
Yes.
Did it A, read the print on the label, or B, did you perfectly line up the barcode so that it was scanning that took a picture of the barcode, and that's how I had identified it?
Yeah, thank you for the question. And the answer is it was barcode based.
Okay.
Yes.
So for someone who's blind using the OrCam, it might be, you might have to do multiple pictures until you nail that barcode.
That's precisely it.
Got it.
But yeah, this product was in the database and it correctly identified it. So very exciting stuff. Let me pass the product back to you, Corey. Thank you.
Don't mind me while I eat this with a spoon.
Can you do that with that stuff?
Probably, sure, you've never eaten frosting?
No, I've never tried it, no.
Oh, every time I make a cake, it ends up with no frosting on it. Eat the frosting first.
Very nice. All right, so product identification, very cool. Money identification, very cool. Those are both built in, but what else do we have, Corey? Don't answer that, I'm gonna tell you.
It's a rhetorical question, I guess.
It was a rhetorical question. So the additional features we have, which are also very good, are gesture control. We can point to something and it will read it, and we can put our hand with the fingers extended under the camera and it will stop reading. And we also have a summary feature where it is able to summarize text and just give you the highlights so you don't have to read the entire page. Cory, are you ready to try this?
I am. I will hand you a book.
Thank you.
One of my favorites.
You are so useful today.
I'm currently reading that, so please don't lose my bookmark,
That's
please.
fine. Cory, could you tell me what the name of the book is?
Yes, this is Reader's Digest and What to Save in Case Your House is on Fire. Which
I'm very
really should be a short list, yourself and family members. Other than that, you should get out of your house. So I guess OrCam doesn't need to summarize it because I just did it for you.
All right, so I've opened the book. I'm going to put it underneath the camera. The camera is still in the stand now. In order to do the gestures, we do have to put the camera into stand mode. And in order to put it into stand mode, we have to use a voice command. So I'm going to do that, and then I will point at the text, and it will see my finger and start to read. And then I will put my hand underneath the camera with the fingers extended, and that will tell it to stop. Are you ready? Here we go.
Wasn't sure if you're asking me or the OrCam.
I was asking you, but I just assumed you were. Okay, here we go. Hey OrCam, turn on stand mode.
Starting stand mode. Quite a few years ago, the divorce of Chuck Simmons and his wife was all Annie wanted to talk about. His father had passed away, which was...
I feel bad for Chuck.
I know, sounds like a very depressing book.
Yeah. Yeah, houses are burning and divorce, jeez.
All right, so that was gestures. I pointed, it started to read. I held my hand underneath with the fingers extended, and it stopped. Now, those are the same gestures that you would use with the OrCam My Eye, which is the device that goes on the side of the glasses. For those of you who are interested and don't know about the My Eye, we have a video on that as well.
Oh, another card floating.
It's unbelievable the amount of cards we are getting in here. So check it out somewhere above, and you can watch that video too. But Cory, we are not done yet, because there is another exciting feature which we had mentioned, summary.
I am a big fan of Cliff Notes. That's how I got through high school and college. And I agree. I mean, this sounded very interesting about Chuck, but I say we get a summary instead.
Yeah, so let's ask the camera to summarize this page for us so we don't have to listen to the whole thing. Here we go. Hey OrCam, summarize.
Please choose the text you want to summarize.
At this point, I press the button on the device to take a picture of the page.
Summarizing text. Eric tried to tell people that the divorce of Chuck Simmons and his wife should be the end of it, but it wasn't. On this day, he saw JH while having lunch with a close colleague and friend, Judge Lawrence Alexander.
There you go.
Yeah. I mean, we didn't read it, but it sure sounded like a summary. We heard about Chuck and the divorce. So.
Indeed, and the judge. Don't forget the judge.
Yeah.
So,
and lunch.
And the lunch, yeah. So that was obviously summarizing that particular page. It was not summarizing the entire book.
I guess if you wanted to take a picture of every page, you could summarize the whole
That would be a great way
right?
to read it. But there we go. Using a voice command, we can get a summary powered by Chat GPT on the back end. So you do have to be connected to the internet for this to work. But it's a really cool feature. And like you say, Cory, give you the Cliff Notes version.
I mean, it's really, honestly, is one of the coolest things I've seen in these OCR devices. And we've tried it on a couple things, and the summary really is pretty good.
Yeah, I agree.
And I find it pretty, to me, OCR has been pretty boring lately. I mean, it's just take a picture, but this is taking it to the next level.
It is, yeah. AI-powered future is here.
Yeah.
And for those who want to see even more, we have even more. Cory, it's time to jump over to our computer and take a look at what else the OrCam Read 3 can do.
Let's surf the net.
Okay, so here we are on the computer, and what do we see before us? This looks like a fantastic web page. Cory, what web page are we on here?
Two things.
Yes.
Blind.
Yes.
Can't see.
Good.
Two,
yes.
Computer not even facing me.
Okay, perfect. Cory, this is the Vision Forward Tech Connect YouTube channel. I hear it's fantastic, and I really think people should like all the videos and should also subscribe to the channel. Cory, do you agree?
I do agree. I think it would be one of the best birthday presents I ever received.
Fantastic. Cory, is it your birthday?
No,
Good.
but I'm not going to, you don't know, maybe it's tomorrow?
No.
Not going to tell you. So what you can do is subscribe to that channel, like the video, and that really is going to make me happy. Maybe my birthday's tomorrow.
It could be. Why don't you put down in the comments when you think Cory's birthday is, and more importantly, how old do you think Cory is?
Yep, 12.
Well, we're going to start with 12 and we'll see where we go from there. Okay, but what we're really here to do, Cory, is look at the computer connectivity with the OrCam Read 3.0. I say computer, but this is not specific to computers because what we have is a web-based portal here, a web-based portal. So if your device has an internet browser, then you can connect to your OrCam Read 3.0.
And I think that's great. I think that makes it so that you're not downloading, installing an app on your device.
Yeah.
You're just going to a website, which again makes it available on a computer. Doesn't matter if it's Windows, Mac, Android, iPad, all of that, and I think that's awesome.
Yes, it is good, but there is some setup here to be done. So the setup involves going to OrCam's website. You have to type in your network name. You have to type in your network password. It will generate a QR code. You take your OrCam Read 3.0, take a picture of the QR code, and if you are lucky, it will connect the OrCam Read 3.0 to your network. So that might be a little tricky for some. You might need to seek assistance if that sounds too complicated. But once you've done it, you will now have connectivity to your OrCam, and you will have a browser window which will present a screen for the OrCam Read 3.0.
And these are all so what you're going to start to show now these are really the new features of the Read 3.0 that are specific to this new device. None of the other devices in the OrCam line can do what we're about to see. Yeah,
that's a great point. Yeah, so this is probably the main selling point of the OrCam Read 3.0. Cory, let's stop talking. I feel like it's time to get grooving with this.
Let's get OrCamming.
We are going to go ahead and go to our desktop here. And I am going to go to a link which I had previously created on my desktop because I am that smart.
That was really smart. Very convenient to go right to the portal.
It's very convenient.
Yeah.
Let me wake up my OrCam Read here.
Yes.
Device is in stand mode.
Okay.
Battery is 100% charged.
And I'm going to go ahead and open up the
Speaking of
here.
battery, continuous use about 4 hours, if I'm not mistaken.
We did hear today that the battery life is about 4 hours. Now, we have ours plugged in at the moment, but you don't have to have it plugged in. It's just for our convenience. So, Cory, on the screen now, I'm sure you will be excited to know, we do have a live image from the camera. And we have a window that shows us the live image. We have a large button with a picture of a camera. Okay. We have a button with a picture of a cogwheel, which is for our settings. We have a plus button to zoom in. We have a minus button to zoom out. We have a button which will rotate the image. And finally, we have a T in a circle, which will allow us to change colors. So
right now, we can think of this as sort of a live electronic magnification. You know, if you're used to a desktop or portable.
Yes. All right, let's take a look in the live view here. So I'm going to use the plus to zoom in, and amazingly, it's getting larger as we do that. And I'm going to go ahead and move the book, and we'll see the kind of lag that we're talking about here. So I'm moving the book under the camera, and there is a definite delay there. Now, I think that's going to be a problem, especially at higher magnifications if you're trying to read in this live view, just because, you know, you really need a smooth pan as you're reading to be able to read effectively. So this is a bit of a challenge. Let's take a look at the color mode button here. I'll move through some colors. We have a yellow on blue, we have a black on yellow, we have a regular color, and we have a white on black, which is where we started here. Now I will switch back over to the regular color and just move my hand underneath here to demonstrate the delay there. So that really was quite delayed. I moved my hand under the camera, and it was a while before we actually saw that reflected on the screen there.
Spot reading, no problem. You know, putting something under that you don't have to move around. But my understanding, if we use the camera button and then get a picture of it, then it's much easier to do some of your reading because you're obviously not getting the lag at that point.
Yeah, exactly. So this is where things become pretty cool, is when we do the OCR in this particular mode. So in order to do that, there is a large camera button. I have my page aligned underneath the camera. I'm going to click the camera button. It turns, that just takes a picture at this point. Now, just to point this out, we can actually download that picture. We have an additional button now, which is a downward pointing arrow, that will allow us to download this image if we want to, and we could save it onto the computer. We can also magnify this image, and this is actually a more effective way. If you do want to read without doing the OCR, you can magnify the image, and if you have a touch screen device, then you could actually use your finger to pan around the magnified image, and you can still change the color of the magnified image and things like that. Now, what we can do from here though is actually OCR that image, and so the picture, the camera button has turned into the letter A, and we're going to click that and it should do the OCR for us.
What does letter A stand for?
That's a good question. It has a capital A and a small a. So it's kind of showing like that's like the text button.
Yeah,
but
sure.
Yeah, it seems like an odd one. But we have now got the results through, so we're ready to read. Corey, shall we find out what has been happening to Chuck, our friend?
Yes, and I believe we've chosen Cora. We're going to show how you can change voices in a little bit.
Yes,
but
yeah, she has a nice voice here.
Yeah, let's hear about Chuck.
All right, so here we go. I'm going to hit play.
David Rosenfeld. Deck the Hounds. A few years ago, the divorce of Chuck Ons and his wife was all anybody to talk about. His father had passed, which was probably the only reason he OT on Simmons's target list. But that, read to tell people.
I'm going to stop it there.
Now I'm wondering, so usually OrCam does a great job with their OCR, and that was still very good.
Yeah.
But there was some mistakes that you don't typically get. I'm going to guess. We don't usually do pictures of books, and so when you have books, as you get closer to the spine, that page starts to bend a little bit.
Yes.
And I'm wondering if some of those oddness that we picked up were from the words at the end of the line.
Yeah, I think we are using the right page of a book here. I think probably toward the left edge, which is where the binding is, some of the text may have been obscured, and that's why we got some words which weren't quite complete there. But we can hear that we were able to OCR. Now we can see the words on the screen as they are being read aloud to us.
Okay.
We can magnify the words with the plus and minus buttons. We can change the color of the words using that same color change button. And the nice thing about this is, of course, it's computer text at this point, and so it's very crisp and sharp no matter how large we make it. And if we had a touchscreen device, we could move this text around without it even being read to us. So we could just read it ourselves like this.
And as it was reading, does it highlight or underline?
So it underlines, and you cannot change that at the moment. Okay. It's just underlining.
But it is underlining each word as speaking, so you can still track and follow.
We are going to go to our settings. There is a settings cogwheel button. I will click on there. It's going to take us through. It's a little bit slow in these menus, but it's not too bad. So we have four main areas: audio, view, connectivity, and tutorial. I'm going to go to view first of all, because this is where we can change from our line view to our paragraph view. And here we go into the view settings. Now the view mode is set to one line. I will go ahead and change that to paragraph. And we also have some colors, so we can set our favorite contrast. And we can also change the color of these menus that we're in. So if we wanted the white on black rather than the black on white, we could change that. Once we finish, we can hit the save button. It's going to go ahead and apply those changes. So I'm going to go back now, and I think we'll have to take another picture, but we'll just go ahead and do that. Yeah, I believe we do. We'll go ahead and do that, and this time, hopefully it will present that text to us in the paragraph view. So I did actually have to, when I came out of there, I had to reconnect to the device. It's just a case of clicking on the connect button. It's now connecting, and hopefully in a second here, we shall see the image from the camera. And here it is. So now we do have to do the OCR again. So I'll make sure that my page is positioned okay. And we'll go ahead and hit that camera button once, and then hit the two letter A's. So now it's displaying it in paragraph view, which is more of our standard kind of view. We'll hit the play button. It's going to read and underline.
David Rosenfeld. Deck the Hounds. A few years ago, the divorce of Chuck Mons and his wife was all anybody to talk about.
And we'll go ahead and stop it there. Good. Now we can also change the voice. So if we go back into the settings here, and we can go to the audio option this time. And we're going to see some various settings we can change. Now, this is an interesting one, Corey. Yeah. The first option, power and speed.
Yeah, and we noticed that. And when you go in, it's only changing speed right now. I'm hoping a future update will be power where maybe it's just so that changes the voice to speak with more power, or really enunciates. I'm not really sure what the power is.
I'm excited to find out, though. I'll tell you that much.
So check out for a future video here on Tech Connect.
But we do have a speed slider at the moment, so between 0.5 and 2 times speed. And then we also have the voice. Now, Cory, there are so many voices to choose from. Holy cow!
And they're actually quite. I haven't figured out what speech engine it's using, but they're all well, we didn't test them all, but the ones we did were really good.
Yeah, they seem to be really high quality. You can choose between male and female, and there's just so many different accents and so many different languages and everything. We'll just do one here. We were on Quora. We'll try Brandon. We can hover our mouse over a voice and then press the play button to hear a sample.
This is a sample text.
There you go, buddy.
Sounds so nice. It kind of reminds me of the quality of the Windows 11, the Edge browser voices. Yeah. Really nice. Yeah.
That'd be curious. Yeah, we even could be using some.
Yeah, it's really amazing. The text-to-speech voices are getting so good these days. It's really quite amazing. Let's hear one more. Jane. Oh, Jane. She is a US female voice. Let's hear what Jane sounds like.
This is a sample text.
Oh, she had a little bit of a... Yeah, a little different enunciation, maybe younger voice. I couldn't. Yeah, kind of reminded me.
Yeah, she was interested. Yeah, that's pretty much all of the changes that we can make. So it's mostly kind of how the text is visually presented and how the voices sound. There is one more thing, Cory, I would like to demonstrate to you.
I know, and this last thing, I'll be honest, this one's pretty cool. It does kind of take the OrCam Read to the next level.
Next level, baby.
Next level.
Yeah, next level, okay. So what we have is handwriting recognition. Yeah. And it seems to do a good job. Now, we do have some handwriting here, pre-prepared. It is fairly good quality handwriting. And to be honest, we haven't had a chance to really test it with proper cursive writing because I don't do cursive writing.
I have not done, maybe we need to do a live demo. I don't know that we have paper and pen, but I could try writing. Yeah. I haven't written in years.
Jonathan, if you can find a pen and paper, then hopefully we can do a live demonstration. But we'll start off with this particular one, which was very kindly written for us by Cory from OrCam. Let me put it underneath the camera. I know, very nice handwriting. And we will see here we have a list of items. Let's see if the OCR is able to recognize them. I'll go ahead and do OCR on the document here. We'll let it process and we shall see what it comes up with. In the meantime, Jonathan has been able to provide us with paper and pen. So Cory is going to write something out and we'll see if it can recognize that. But first of all, with Corin's list, let's see what we get. Okay, so it has successfully completed the OCR. Let's have it read aloud.
Bread, eggs, chicken, cheese milk, apples.
Excellent, so it successfully read all of those things, but that was quite neat. So let's try it with something Cory has just written here.
I have to say before we do this, I never write.
Okay.
I have not written cursive I've been blind for 30 years, 32 years now.
Okay.
What I just wrote in cursive is hands down the most I've written since I lost my sight. Usually I just sign my name, that's it. So I'm not even sure my cursive is right anymore because I haven't written it in 32 years.
Okay.
But let's give it a shot. I don't think it's right, but...
Here is the text.
First of all, can you read it?
It says, my name is Cory.
Okay, good. So you can read it visually.
So if the OrCam can read this, I would say it's basically the best handwriting reader in existence.
I agree.
To be honest with you.
Now, let's just say really quickly, for OrCam's sake, this is horrible test. If it doesn't do a good job, it is not OrCam's fault whatsoever.
This is the hardest test that this camera has ever been put through. Let's do it. The text is under the camera here, and let's go ahead and take our picture. So I will hit the picture button. It's taken the picture. We will do OCR. Get ready, people, for the results. This could be the greatest experiment in the history of the Earth. It could be the worst. We'll see what happens. Here we go.
Mama.
All right.
There you go. We just found out literally as we had finished recording the video that there is an additional feature of the OrCam Read 3.0 and we wanted to try and get it in, so we decided to do some guerrilla filming here and check out the latest function, which is distance viewing. If you need to see things in the distance, for example, a board, if you're a student or something like that, then you can in fact tilt the OrCam Read in the stand to point into the distance and then use the same kind of portal that we have here on the computer to zoom in on things in the distance. So I have sign on the wall in the distance there. I'm going to go ahead and zoom in using the plus button, and that's obviously going to make it larger and easier to see. Now, this feature is kind of tricky because small movements of the camera, because of the lag, it's hard to know exactly if you're moving the camera to the right place or not. So if I make a small movement here, for example, I have to wait to see that reflected on the screen. Again, with a bit better internet connection, this may actually be improved. Now, I kind of wonder, can we do OCR in the distance? Well, let's find out. I don't know if this is a fair test or not because we are at a bit of an angle here, but let's just try it. I'm going to go ahead and do the OCR. And we'll see if it can take a picture of the text on the wall here and read it aloud to us. The text says, "Technology creates possibility." That is our slogan here. So hopefully we will hear that from the device here once we have done the OCR. It's currently processing and we have our results. But what did we get? Well, let's find out. Hit the play.
Technology creates possibility.
Fantastic! It did it! Hey! Not only did it do it, but it also understood that the first 3 letters of the word technology, TEC, are capitalized, and it is reflecting that on the screen visually with the words that it is presenting to us. So, did a fantastic job, kept the formatting, and was able to read it even at an angle. That's pretty cool. I'm excited about that, and if you get one of these, you can check it out for yourself.
Hey, OrCam, summarize our summary.
I am really good.
I think the OrCam Read 3.0 is awesome. I thought the previous version was great. These new Wi-Fi enabled features, including the summary and being able to connect it to your computer, I think just takes it to the next step.
Yeah, it's really cool to see this. The live magnification is not the best because it's quite laggy. Yeah. And so that side of things I wouldn't say is particularly helpful, but once you've done the OCR and you can see the words on the screen and you can change the color of them and it highlights as it's reading and there's so many voices and all of that great stuff. All of that is really cool to see, and still the full OrCam Read 3.0 package still comes in significantly under the price of the OrCam My Eye, the basic version of the OrCam My Eye. So pretty good value for money, and OrCam have told us that they will have the ability soon to do automatic translation.
Yeah, and she mentioned any language, but we'll wait and see. But it's a feature that's not out yet.
Yes.
But will be released soon. So
and I believe that will be a software update, so current owners, I think, will get that also. Yeah. So very cool stuff. And if you guys thought the OrCam Read 3.0 looked good, or even if you thought it looked bad, why don't you put it down below in the comments, because we would love to hear your thoughts. And of course, we do love a good like and subscribe as well. So feel free to do that if you enjoyed the video, or even if you didn't.
We have a lot of content that we'd love for you to take a look at or listen to. We have a podcast. If you go to your favorite podcast app, do a search for Tech Connect. You'll find us, Vision Forward Tech Connect. You can subscribe to that. We're also going to be doing a live show. We actually do a live show twice a month, but on August 17th, we'll be diving deeper into the OrCam Read 3.0, and we'll be having a special guest on who works for OrCam, Corinne, and she's going to be telling us more in depth about the product. So take a look at that. You can head over to our online assistive technology resource to get signed up for that live show at techconnect.vision-forward.org. You can also contact us, shoot us an email, techconnect@vision-forward.org. Thanks for joining us, and stay tuned.